This was our third relocation in 6 years. So my wife actually found them searching on the internet up here. We were living in Texas and contacted John. And what was important for us in this process is that they treated it with a personal venue, basically, because we're out of town. Our trips up were limited, and he gave us a lot of time and dedication while we were here to make sure that the time spent was well spent. We got a lot of value out of it, and then we left. So we only had limited trips, and it worked out.
Well, they made themselves available when we had time, so we didn't have to work around their schedule. They kind of worked around ours, which was nice.
Right, and holidays came up, and that was when we could come up. I can remember there was some time there happening, and they made time during a holiday to be with either one of us when we were up here. From my perspective, it was very well thought out, and the process basically that they followed was great. A lot of texting being used, cell phone connectivity, emails, no problem ever getting a hold of them. When we were traveling, they were checking in. When I got to the airport, calling, do you need a ride? And made it very, very conducive to a smooth operation.
Definitely, I think both of them were not going to be satisfied unless we were satisfied. And John just kept showing me houses until he knew that this is the one that I wanted. So, they also, on a personal note, they made you feel not only like they were your realtors, but they were also your friends. And we feel that they have become good friends of ours. And they would give you input if you felt like you weren't sure about something, if you weren't sure if this house would work for you or whatever. They would give you their personal opinion, which always helped me. I like to hear what their thoughts were. And they weren't just trying to sell a house. They actually wanted you to be very happy with your purchase and the house that you're going to live in.
We were one of their first relocation couples, and had done this quite a bit before, so we were very in tune, and our expectations were really high, and we basically guided both of them and how we needed to execute on this and the timing. And he listened to us. Becky got involved in the process too. I primarily spent most of my time with John, but she basically did a lot of the legwork and researching a lot of the homes that my wife Jill was basically sending up here, and put together some itineraries that were just on target. So when I got here, got off the plane, we went. And then I was spending time up here working, and made time in the evenings on my schedule basically to meet with me and to go look at homes during the week when he had things going on in his life with his children, etc. So that was what was really important in these long distance relocations.
We can highly recommend John and Becky Durham for any relocation to the Twin Cities or the Twin Cities area. They won't be satisfied unless you're satisfied.
Yes, and I can also recommend John and Becky as I relocated to this area. We were growing and changing a company, and we brought in another colleague that just relocated from the St. Louis area. And it worked out very well for them, and we're most likely going to use John and Becky for more of our corporate relocations for our company.
We decided that we wanted to try and sell our townhome, and John was very cooperative. We wanted someone we could trust, and we found that in him. We're both retired, and needless to say, it works well if you've got someone that works for you, and John did all of those things. We basically got more than what we intended on getting for our unit. So in the market today, I think that means a lot. I can't say enough about John and Becky. We were first introduced to them through our daughter, and I'm very glad that she gave us those two to talk to. So it worked very well. My wife and I are both very, very satisfied with what he's done for us.
Moving to a new city, you're unfamiliar with what you're going to encounter, and John and Becky made that transition very smoothly. They took us around to different areas to help us discover what would fit right for us, and they were very helpful in helping us in this relocation process?
Well, we accepted a new position, job opportunity in Minneapolis, and we are from Missouri, from St. Louis, and had the opportunity to come to Minneapolis. A colleague of mine at the new business recommended John and Becky Durham, and we met with them, and from the get-go, it was a great relationship, helping us find our new home in Minneapolis. What I appreciate is they took the time to just help us discover what our needs were. Because when you move, you sometimes don't necessarily know what you're really looking for. You think you do. John and Becky were very patient to show us different areas of the town, of the city, some that they knew we may not like as well as others, but they wanted to give us the opportunity to compare and contrast. And it really helped us narrow in on what we finally found. And what I really liked about John, I found that John, I could ask him what he thought about a house, and he'd give me his honest opinion. He really wasn't there just to sell me a house. He was there to help me find a house that was right for us. The things that I didn't notice, he would point up and say, well, did you see that? Did you notice this? And it was just really helpful that I had the confidence that he would shoot really straight with me about what he thought about the house.
They were there 24/7. I could call them, I could email them, and they were John was very quick in responding to my questions, which made it that much easier, being in a different state.
But John also, which was nice, is I was still working when Cindy was out with John a lot of times looking for homes. And it was nice for me that I know they'd come back and they'd have a lot of fun during the day, which, okay, looking for a home, but I just trusted John would really take care of showing you the right things. And whenever you came back with home recommendations for me to see, they were almost right on target.